All right. I think we're recording, so I'm going to start this. Hello, everyone. It's John Cope from Cope Racing Transmissions, and we're going to try a little something different on this broadcast. We're going to do what is a podcast, and I have in the studio via technical wiring and whatnot is the world famous Dylan Durby, and one of the world's fastest Rams with a stock 5.7. Welcome to the podcast, Dylan.
How's it going, John?
Good, man. How's everything going your way, brother?
Man, it's been good. We got some rain going on over here, so it's been hard to get to the track lately, but it's all good. Fans good. We're moving.
Dude, it's been raining here. Well, a week ago we had like sub-zero, and then it snowed. Now it's raining. It's supposed to be 50 degrees next week.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
maybe a little global warming will be just fine.
I wouldn't mind having a little bit of the snow finally come down here for once, but we don't ever get lucky enough.
Is that blower that you have there on the table your old one?
This guy here is the one that used to be on the truck.
Okay.
This is the original 76 millimeter, I think it is, what they call it.
And that's the one I have then.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. I didn't know which one you ended up getting, but if it was the first one, then you got this one.
I don't know which one he sent me. I didn't think the big ones were out a year ago, were they?
They were not. They just come out. So then you got this guy.
Yeah.
Here.
And that's all I'll need.
But yeah, this.
So if that one's a 76, what size is the new one?
84 millimeter.
Wow.
So the wheel is bigger. The volute, the housing, and the diameter on everything is bigger.
Uh-huh.
And it just moves a lot more CFM.
Now, when you took that off, if I remember correctly by watching your video, you didn't have to change nothing. You took the old one off, put the bigger one on. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the newer one that just come out with, you can take this head unit off, which is your Allen bolts up here that holds it to the bracket. Take it off, put the new one right in place of it. You don't have to change anything. No bracket changing,
wow.
Nothing. Bolts right on.
Wow.
And but yeah, this one here, we was able to get about 12-ish pounds of boost out of it. And we ran the 1059 and the quarter last year. And then switching out to that new 84 unit, we're now pushing 22 pounds of boost. And we just ran the most recent time flip, the 10.088. So that's the difference between them. It's quite a big difference.
It's 10.08, right?
Yeah, 10.088.
Okay. Man, that's pretty. I actually got that pass stored in our little thing here to show everyone. But
oh yeah.
Before I show this, your 10-second pass, your low 10-second pass, I also got your high 10-second pass. But I got this burnout compilation, and I hope you don't mind that I boosted it off your YouTube page, which we're going to have to let everybody know what that is. So this, after you got your exhaust done and you had that video of the smoke snorting out of the side,
right?
It's totally badass. So I'm going to pop that up. And that picture of the car or the truck, right? Where is it? Right there.
There it is.
Dude, that reminds me of a bull.
Ram, isn't it? It's a pissed off Ram.
Oh my God.
It's a really mad Ram truck. Yeah, I like it, man. It was really cold that day, if I remember right, and it was just I guess the heat and everything just makes it do that when it's really cold outside. It's pretty cold.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's just the condensation, like when you crank your car in the wintertime, more or less.
Yeah.
It don't do it too much when it's warm outside.
Lucas was asking me the other day, and I don't recall, do you have an intercooler on the truck?
So when I was still running this one, and when I was still running this unit, I used to have an air-to-air intercooler behind the grill. Okay. And then last year, I upgraded that to an air-to-water intercooler. So the intercooler is like a brick that's mounted on top of the high ram, and then the plate goes on top of it. Yeah. So it pumps water through that intercooler from a tank in my bed. But yeah, it's an air-to-water intercooler now.
Okay. So did you take the air-to-air off of it then? Yeah,
the air-to-air that we made is actually on Project Storm on Ryan's truck right now. That whole kit that I put together.
I gotcha. Now you put that on his truck because that's on pump gas, not E85.
Yeah, that truck he drives it every day. It's a pump 93 tune with meth injection, but very, very minor tuning compared to what we've done to this one behind me.
Yeah, right. And how fast is that truck?
So when I just ran my fastest pass the other day, we had Ryan's truck down there also, and he finally broke into the 12s, and his best time that day was 12:7:45, I think.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be able to make that a little bit quicker because we're still on a little larger pulley. So we might change the pulley, and we're going to try to get it down to like 1250s.
Okay.
And that truck's heavy. That's a daily driver. That's a 4x4 truck. And there's no, he don't take any weight out of that truck. That truck's like 5,700 pounds. It's ridiculous.
Wow. He's got to be tickled pink with that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He loves it. I mean, like I said, he drives it everywhere. And I mean, he's driven it to your shop. We drove it to Michigan last year. And then remember we stopped by you. Yeah. And, he drives the crap out of that thing.
Hey, what restaurant did you stop by when you was here?
Oh, we stopped at a Portillo's. You know that.
Hell yeah, man. You got to get some of that Chicago food.
Dude, we need a Portillo's down here so bad. Or even like that hot dog joint that you got right by the shop.
Uh-huh.
I would tear them. Those hot dogs right there by the shop, I'd tear them up every day.
You need an Aurelio's down there too, dude. Every time a customer or a friend comes into town, I always take them to Aurelio's. That's my first go-to, is Aurelio's Pizza.
I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was.
You know what? We didn't take you guys to Aurelio's.
No, I was gonna say I've never been to one or heard of that one. So
yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna ask you a question.
Sure.
You threw a curveball at me. So I knew you got a Torque Storm a while back, and I thought you were gonna put it on Haney, but it's actually going on the race car.
It is, and I'll tell you the logic and the reasoning behind it, if it makes any sense to you. I think Haney was running like 1150s in the quarter, which was respectable because I consider that a daily. I mean, I don't drive it every day, but the windshield wipers work, everything works. It's insured, it's got tags and everything on it. But once you start squeezing into that 10-second bracket, you're getting another set of rules, trans blankets, and roll cages and all this other stuff. And I'm a big guy, and I'm tight in that truck as it is, much less putting a roll cage in there. So I thought, well, I bought a Holley system. I got another Hemi. I got that tunnel ram. I got the Torque Storm. I go, why not just get my Coronet going? So the last time I took Haney out to the No Name, I think it averaged out to like a flat 13, even though it was an 8th mile track. So I did lose some time by not having the tunnel ram on there. And I'm kind of okay with that. So we're going to take the Torque Storm, and just on my last video, we gapped the rings, unlike you did.
So you ring gapped the 392 that you're putting in the car.
Well, you have to, because a 392 has got a different piston than a 5.7.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you have to do that. So
very much
I will have the Coronet running this year. Yeah.
So that's just a stock 392 motor like what's in Haney.
It is. It's a stock bottom end. It's had a valve job, and it's got the good springs in it for the big cam. And I'm going to put that big cam in it with the Holley ram and that Torque Storm blower. I mean, you've done some great stuff with that thing, So it sold me watching all your videos and everything. It really did sell me on that blower.
Right. And they've surprised me, and it's been a great supercharger, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So you put the 6.4 manifold back on Haney, and it went slower?
I put the stock manifold back on. Was that all I did? I put the stock manifold back on. That's all I did. And what else did I change? I don't remember. I don't think I changed anything else. The gear was the same. The converter was the same. The trans was the same. Yeah, it was almost 0.4 slower by just putting that stock intake back on.
That's really good information and data, because I get asked all the time, because I have the high ram, and there's a lot of NA guys constantly asking me, how does it work on an NA setup? And personally, I don't think they would probably lose anything. Gain, obviously, a way better appearance, not to mention it's an intake manifold that you can grow into, and it's endless. But if you had that much of a difference, that's good stuff, because that means that manifold must work pretty good on an NA setup.
I would have to agree with you on that, Dylan. And I always hear everybody putting a 6.4 intake on 5.7,
right,
and making some gains. Matter of fact, I had a couple intakes left over, and I kept one for myself and sold one to another guy for $325, because that's what the going rate is on those.
Yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of the tuners and a lot of especially the Ram community, for the NA guys, everybody really pushes that 6.4 manifold to put on a 5.7.
Yeah.
And there's just not enough. There's not enough people in data that's put that Holley high ram on just a basic NA truck. So 0.4 is massive. Like, that's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah, that's in the quarter mile times. I was only racing 8th mile at that time.
Yeah.
But if you do the conversion from 8th to quarter, it was 4/10. So, and I don't have those numbers in front of me, and I don't remember but it was slower, you know. I mean, on the street, the truck still feels like a rocket ship, you know,
Oh, yeah.
and you can only have one fast car. So,
well, that's a lie.
Well, and here's another reason. Here's another reason. When I took that truck to Mo Party, people either loved it or frickin' hated it. When I took Haney there, I really got some mixed emotions. And so, guys that may not know who John at CRT is, and they're like, "Oh, he drives a Ford," when I'm a diehard Mopar guy. So I want to take my Dodge Coronet, which I won some championships with, has my name on the side, and I want to go to Dodge events in a Dodge. I can take Mr. Haney out to other events.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I like the truck. I think it's badass. So
I do too.
When was the last time the car made a pass?
Where's my bag? I got to put a bag over my head. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I took the car apart in 2004.
Wow.
Almost 20. It'll be 20 years this summer. The car's been sitting there doing nothing. Now, I originally bought that blue 63 Dodge, and I raced that for quite a long time. I took the motor trans out of the Coronet, stuck it in the blue car, and I raced the living shit out of the blue car. And the thing was, the reason why I bought the blue car was I was going to restore the Coronet while I was still racing. That didn't happen. It just didn't happen. It sat. I did take the cage out. I took out the mild steel cage and put a chromoly cage in it. I mean, I did make some improvements, but for other than the cage, it just sat. So
gotcha. But that car, I mean, that's a race car, right? That car's gutted. Like, it's a race car. It's got a cage and everything in it.
It's got a 10-point cage, swing outs, a Dana 60, and I can put the biggest, fattest tire underneath there if I wanted to. However, I did have just a piece of aluminum in there for the dash, and I took that out. And years ago, I went out and bought a beautiful factory dash for a 68 Coronet, and I painted it red, and that's in there. And I'm not going to run racing buckets. You've seen the nice white seats in Haney. I'm going to put those in there with carpeting and a headliner, and the windows are going to roll up and down, and all the headlights are going to work. So it will be completely street legal, and my goal is to run 10 flat.
There you go. Should be able to do that. What's that car weigh?
3310.
There you go. I mean, that's got to be, what is that, 1,000 pounds lighter than Haney, probably?
Yep. It's got fiberglass fenders, fiberglass hood, fiberglass bumpers, those lightweight bumper brackets. Oh, man, I can't remember his name. He's going to be so pissed at me. So, but it is going to be a little bit heavier, but a little bit lighter. I'm a little bit heavier than what I was in 2004. So it should come in. It should come in at 3,500 pounds race weight. Yeah.
There you go. That ain't bad. That'll get it done right there.
I'm really excited about it.
So are you trying to have that one ready?
Huh?
Are you trying to have that one ready for this Mo Party, or are you trying to go for next year?
This year.
Oh, wow. Hell yeah.
depending on how busy the shop gets. Now that I got two guys working in the shop and I got Devin over there, I've had a little bit more time on my hands for the first time in a long time. So we'll have to see. I'm not going to promise the world, but I'm thinking I'm going to have this thing done by midsummer, possibly. You know.
Wow. Well,
So
I'm ready to see it run because I've seen the car in person. I think now twice. So I
yeah,
want to see
just
the
sitting
dust get
there.
knocked off of it. Go out there and knock the dust off of her.
Yeah, right, huh? So
So
yeah, I'm gonna
what's
proudly.
the name of that car?
There is no name. I never had a name. It was always the Coronet. So
There you go.
I don't know. Maybe one will grow on it. We'll have to see. You know. But the Coronet was always
We
great for
gotta you
doing
gotta
wheelies.
ask all, there you go. You gotta ask all the people to comment a name for you.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see. I made a really nice
Well, there
slow
you go.
mo. I did a real nice slow mo of your wheelies,
Oh yeah.
and I wanted to pop that up here. What did your truck come in at? Wait.
With me in the truck, it's 4620.
4620. That is a shitload.
It's heavy.
Do you see that?
Oh yeah. I've watched it a few times and I still got I still remember the
I'm telling you, man. If you put a tailgate on that thing, and you put the tailgate down and put a couple 100 pounds at the end of the tailgate, dude, you'd be dragging it.
I might have to do that. I might have to do that at Mo Party just to get an awesome picture. I might have to do that.
Yeah, you'd be dragging it.
That's the that's the fastest 60 foot I've had is that video you got right there. That was it.
What was it?
1.388.
Really?
Yeah.
138.
Yeah. Normally I'm like 142, somewhere in there.
Uh huh. So
It,
I got to ask you, Dylan, what are you going to do to get Frostbite into the nines?
well, let me grab this. So me and Ryan, FRP, he sent me this the other day and donated it to me. This is a Hellcat throttle body that's been ported,
Nice.
which I think the Hellcat throttle bodies, I want to say they're 94 millimeter. And this one's been ported. And I still have, believe it or not, the factory throttle body on the truck right now, which is, I think those are 84, if I'm not mistaken. So he thinks that right there, normally on a dyno, when he dynos a swap out like that, he'll normally see, 10 to 15 wheel somewhere in there. And Torque Storm called me and asked me if I run an air filter on the blower, which I do. I got a big cone filter that I run on it. I've never ran it without the filter. They told me to run it my next time without the filter on the track only. And they've seen on the dyno with removing the filter on the bigger unit that I'm using, they've seen about 30 horsepower gain just by taking a filter off of it.
No way.
Yeah. So on our next pass, we're not going to change the tune. We're not going to take any weight out of it. You know, we're just going to try this throttle body. If I can get, because I got to get a wiring adapter for it to fit my harness, which I ordered, but I'm waiting for it. I'm hoping it comes in this week. But between the throttle body and removing that filter, we're hoping.
Man.
Um,
And you don't even have to light the truck up.
That's the goal. I don't really want to take any more weight out of it because right now we're going this fast with interior, carpet, door panels, trim. It's got 2 seats in it still. They're racing seats, but it still has 2 seats. It's got the center console, you know, and it's got your PP shifter on the console.
Mm-hmm.
You know, power windows. It still functions if I want to go down the road and go to the store in it. You know what I mean? And it's got full exhaust. It still has exhaust with mufflers going all the way to the bed. I mean, I could probably just take the exhaust off and run it off the headers, and we could probably break into the nines doing that. So there's a few things, but we're going to try this because right now we're not getting, the weather's not cooperating to get that really good DA that I need without changing anything to get that 9. I probably need about a negative 1,000 DA because this pass right here, the DA was negative 500.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not, we're not lucky like, you know, Houston, Texas people get out there. So
it'd be nice.
We're trying to make it work.
Run the 9 second in like an 85 or 90 degree day, if that's possible too. And I'm sure you're going to get there. That would be pretty awesome. Normally in the heat, like you know, like Mo Party, or you know, even when we went to Michigan, and it was pretty warm at Michigan last year, I'm usually about 3/10 and some change slower than I am this time of year normally in the summertime. What is that Michigan event you go to again, Dylan? And where is it at? So
every year, because that's where Torque Storm is based out of, that's their home track. Is that, I think it's 131
Martin, Michigan.
Yeah, 131. And so every year they do basically like a Torque Storm bash. They sponsor the race because it's their hometown. And so I've been trying to go to those every time they do it. I don't know. I haven't heard about them doing one this year. And I'm not sure if I'll make it this year if they do. But that's normally why I go, because they throw like a big Torque Storm, you know, boogie down.
I'm sure they'll have it this year. Is that in like the beginning of the year?
No, it is. I think it's like June or July.
Well, last time you went there,
sure.
You and your wife got to you stopped by the shop because you hurt something there.
Yep. I sure did.
We thought it was a trans. It ended up being a converter. And
yeah,
you guys, you and your wife were a really good team. We worked together good. Ripped that transmission out, got on the bench, loaded the truck up, and boogied on back to Georgia.
Yeah, it didn't go as good as we were hoping. The truck did not want to cooperate. Besides that, I was having issues where it was running funny. it was running funny. Like it wasn't running right either. Which we ended up finding out. I had some spark plugs giving me some issues. And then I found out one of my fuel pumps, the relay was going bad. It kept going on and off intermittently. And it wouldn't just stay broken to like figure out the problem, It drove us crazy. And then the converter took a dump on the cruise that we were doing. But yeah, we got to come and see you, and we tore that transmission out of that thing, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was
I'm trying to look up that schedule to see when they do that this year.
I noticed too on
Find
your last video that the brake lights were going off when you leave. So that I'm glad that you're getting in tune with the truck, and driving does play a big part in getting consistency and whatnot in the truck. So I think all around making more power and becoming a better driver and spending more seat time in the truck, man, if you jumped around in the truck that good going at 10:08, just imagine what you're going to do when you hit a 9.
Oh, I'm going to be stoked, man. I'm going to be stoked. It seems like every time I go into a new number, I get a little bit emotional.
Yeah.
But
that's
so
totally cool.
The Martin, Michigan, they're doing it in July this year, which I think it was in July last year.
Okay. Was that strictly was that strictly a Torque Storm event, or was that they were just there for something else?
No, it's for the NMCA event.
Oh, that's right.
And they're usually the sponsor for the True Street class.
Yeah.
And but yeah, the first year I went, they basically, if you had a Torque Storm supercharger, they were paying your entry fees if you came. And then they had a big cookout, food, goodie bags, and stuff like that they were giving away. So yeah.
They paid your entry fees at that event?
Yeah, so I think what they were doing was like the first 50 or 100 Torque Storm vehicles, they were paying the entry fees for it.
That's a great promotional item.
Which is pretty good. It's a long freaking drive for me, I know that.
Oh man, that's really a good promotional idea. I'm gonna have to think about that in the future.
I tell you, that track's pretty nice too, though.
Yeah, I've raced there many a times. It was always in the blue car. There's some pit spots that have electricity if you get there earlier enough. It is a nice, clean track. The bathrooms are clean, and for me, it's only about a 2.5 hour drive. I would place I would probably place Michigan as either number 2 or number 3 in my favorite tracks of all time.
It's a big facility too. I feel like it might be bigger than Motardy's drag strip area. Possibly. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's pretty big track.
I don't know, man. Bowling Green.
Yeah, overall, Bowling Green is huge. But just the drag racing side of it, I feel like they're both pretty close, where they make you park and stuff like that. But it's a nice track. That's for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's bad. If I was going to name my tracks, my top 3 would be Norwalk would be number 1, Bowling Green would be number 2, and Martin, Michigan would be number 3.
Right now, Bowling Green, Beach Bend is still my favorite track so far.
Yeah.
The scenery is just, I like the scenery. It's really nice.
Yeah.
But
When you go to Norwalk, they treat you like gold. I mean, they don't call it the Norwalk experience for nothing.
Have you been on that track? Which track is it that's got 4 lanes?
Oh, I never been to 4-lane. Is that Memphis?
I think it's it might be. It's in that area somewhere right there close. I know that.
No, I've never done that. Have you?
I want to try it. No. Me and Ryan was talking about it. I think that would be pretty cool because you could race basically all your buddies at one time.
Yeah, you get 3 chances to lose.
Yeah, how many times can you get? Yeah, what's the chances of getting gapped 3 times in one race?
Yeah, exactly. I gapped the guy to the right of me. I gapped the guy to the left of me.
Yeah, that would be an experience for sure.
Hey, I did get in contact with Flying Ryan. He called me about the transmission parts, but I thought he was going to ask for a whole transmission, but he just wanted the parts. So I gave him a list on the parts. So
okay,
I'd like to be a part of that little thing too. You know, I'm sure he knows a shitload of people.
Did you tell him? Did you tell him that you'd be willing to build it for him or no?
Well, I was going to go there with that, but he didn't ask. He goes, I got a guy in Texas that can do it for me. I got the core. I just need the parts. So I just did what he asked. You know, that's what he wanted. So, and I thought about saying, hey, do you want me to build it? But I did let him know that if his builder needed any questions answered by putting that unit together, that I was only a phone call away, and he really appreciated that.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Yeah, I kind of figured he would have had you do that one, but I don't know. Maybe he might not want to bother you with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
he's a definitely a busy guy, just like you. He's got a lot of fire burning.
Right.
So because I haven't talked to him since that day. So it sounds like they are going to do the 46 though.
Well, I gave him a quote on everything that I recommended that he needed, and I'm just waiting to hear back from him.
Okay.
So, and I emailed him a quote on the valve body and the servos and the billet drum and a few other things.
Right.
So, and I know he's busy, probably like me, that's why my cornet's been sitting since 2004.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that and I know you've been having problems getting help and keeping help too, so that doesn't help things like that either.
I've been blessed with Lucas, has really been doing a good job. The kid is building trans brake valve bodies and reverse manuals, and he's building planetaries. And I've been showing him how to work the office, how to sell jobs, how to talk to customers. So, he's really taken a love to it, and that's the deal. If you don't love what you're doing, it's just going to be a job, and you punch in, you do your thing, you punch out, and you leave. He's like me. He sleeps, eats, shits transmissions. So he's been real good. And we just hired Billy Baru, and he works in the shop and he's doing all the R&R, and Lucas taught him how to work the CNC machine. So he's over there milling valve bodies.
Nice.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
It's been working out real good. You
That's
know.
good. That's good.
So, we're about 10 minutes past our half-hour gig, which is fine. But
Yeah,
if there's anybody that you would like to plug, um, now's the time to let the people know who you really like, especially your fucking tranny guy.
my trainee guy. Well, obviously, man, I'm gonna be straight. I'm gonna be honest. When this thing turned into this, I didn't even think we would even be here, let alone sitting in this damn race trailer or have an almost in the 9 seconds. We're gonna get there, but
Oh
an
yeah, you
almost
will.
9 second truck. This thing started like kind of like as an accident. I had a camshaft failure. I fixed it, made a video, and it just kind of went from there. And then we started racing the truck. Of course, when you start racing, you start running into issues. We raced on that 545 5-speed transmission for 3 years, somewhere about 3 years. Went nitrous, put a bunch of nitrous to it. Then we finally did a supercharger, killed the transmission. Everybody says those transmissions are garbage. Everybody says 8-speed swap it. And I just happened to stumble across one of your videos on YouTube. And I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. And gave you a call, we talked, and it's been, you're honestly one of the first people that really, really helped me tremendously. Not only that, you made this truck absolutely badass. So I definitely appreciate you and everything that you've done for me, for the truck, and for the channel. Um, honestly, I can't even thank you enough. I mean,
You're
you've
very
loaned
welcome.
your shop to me. You've loaned your shop to me many times. We've used it. Hell, I've slept in the shop. um, and you're not just my trainee guy, man. I look at you like you're my buddy. You're my friend. You're family to me. So that's how I look
Yeah,
at it. So,
I feel the same way. When, matter of
um,
fact, when I went to Mo Party and I didn't have Haney there, I actually got to hang out with you and your family and Ryan and just chilled. I had a great time not bringing the truck because I
yeah,
got to mingle with you guys.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes that's a sometimes that's the good thing to do, man. Because you know, racing is work too. It really is. Especially when you start breaking stuff. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's it's nice to it's nice to relax. But yeah, I mean,
that it is.
definitely. Again, you are a godsend to the truck, the channel, me, and man, we love you for that. Torque Storm Superchargers, I can't thank them enough. For what they do, believing in me, believing in this truck and the channel. Those guys are like family. Also, they're a very, very awesome group of guys, and they make a hell of a good product, obviously. And it's built here in the States, so you can't beat that. Um, and I gotta thank FRP, which is my tuner, Flying Ryan Performance. And I mean, everybody that races knows there's not too many tuners that's going to be willing to turn up a stock 5.7 Hemi as hot as we got this one right now on 22
Yeah,
pounds of boost. And he is keeping it alive somehow with the computer. I mean, he's a wizard. He's a wizard on the keys. So I got to give him, props where it's due. He's helped us tremendously. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And then got to thank my team, my family, my son, my buddy Ryan. They help me all the time, either pulling parts off, fixing stuff, upgrading stuff, whatever it is. They're always there. So, and I can't forget YouTube. Obviously, you guys watching this video right now, with John. I mean, you guys are what makes doing stuff like this even possible for some people. If it wasn't for you guys, like myself and a lot of people out there, we wouldn't be racing, today. We wouldn't have cool things like this sitting on the table. And we wouldn't have a badass transmission guy on this screen right here. So, I gotta give you guys probably, the most biggest thanks, because if it wasn't for you guys, a lot of this isn't even possible at all. So I definitely thank you guys for,
every time you make a pass down the track, even though I'm not there all the time, I'm cheering for you. And I love when you give me the text and you're telling me you're not going to believe what we just did this time. And so I'm a fan of the truck and of your channel. I got to know your wife and your children, and I feel the same way. Your family. So
yeah,
when there's people that I like, I roll out the red carpet for them, and that's just how I am. I try to be a generous person, but no, I am so glad that the truck is like this fucking close from running fucking nines.
Yeah. Right there. It's like, it's as thin as this damn ticket right here.
So I tell you what, though, if you can't get it, if you're like 10:01, 10:02, give me a call. I'll come down there and I'll drive the truck in the nines for you.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, the brake lights may not be on though, right?
Dylan, I can't thank you enough.
I'm sorry. Dylan, I was gonna say I put a little sticky note, a little strip on my dash that says, "Let go of the brake pedal."
You know what I was gonna tell Ryan is if he helps you strap yourself in the truck, to get a belt and take your left leg and bring it to the seat and put a belt around it or tie a rope around it so you can only drive with one foot.
A good idea too. That works.
So listen, thank you for being on the very first CRT podcast. I really appreciate it. I hope everybody likes it. I'm going to put across the bottom here the link to your YouTube page so people can go see what you're doing with Frostbite. They got to see you crack that 9-second barrier. And if they like the truck, I also seen that you got some killer merch on your YouTube channel. They can get the Hemi t-shirts and everything you got on there. So I can't thank you enough for coming in. It was a good one. It really turned out pretty good.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. If you want to do it again, let me know.
All right, I'll let you say your outro on yours that you always do.
Yeah, the one that I mess up and I have to blooper it about 9 times and then finally get it right.
All right, give it a whack. See how it turns out.
But well, first off, I know when John posts this video, give the video a like, thumbs up, comment down below. That helps tremendous. Share the video. But no, for real, guys. Love you guys. The YouTube fans is where this is even possible for a lot, like I said. So don't forget, guys, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And we'll see you guys on the next one.